Welcome to Sisters in Company Talking About It live show. Hosted by me, Dr. Sharon Cradle and Sherelle Higgins. We will be discussing intriguing, intricate, inspirational, informative, and intelligent topics with our individual twists and talents.
We will present real stories, real solutions, and engage in real talk.
So we invite you to be our company every Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock p.m. as we focus on transcendent thinking that will move you forward. You become the company you keep. What company do you keep?
Oh yeah, we are biological sisters by way of the south side of Chicago. So get ready to keep company with us and our guests as we talk about it.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Sisters in Company Talking About It live show. We are back for another Sunday to bring you real conversations and real topics. So thank you all for joining us on this Sunday. Sherelle is away with her boy for soccer, so we have our wonderful honorary co-host, Walita Hawkins. We call her Dr. We to be. Yes, and of course, I am Dr. Sharon Cradle, and I can say that I'm not only am I the oldest, but I'm the favorite today, since Sherelle is not here. So, Sherelle, I know you're listening, and it's all good. We are just excited to be here, and we just really are so honored that you find time every Sunday to join us for our conversations and for you to even reach out to us and say, look, can you talk about this? Can you talk about that? And so Sherelle and I have some interesting topics coming up that we are going to need you all to be a part of and to tune into. So all of our social media followers, you know, we ask you every Sunday to go to listenvisionlive.com so that you can see the show in its entirety. And we always love to have conversations with our audience. So please feel free to call in to 833-202-TALK. So before we get started, I want to talk about a few things. We have a lot of students who are getting ready to go to college, and I just think that's an awesome thing. And so, hence, Sherelle is with her boy trying to make sure that, he gets a soccer scholarship, and that he gets an academic scholarship. And so she has to do what a mama has to do. Yes. And we can't be mad about that. That's right. And Dr. We to be, Walita's daughter, is about to go to college as well. Right. She's probably going to be a Trojan. So we're trying to push that. A&M Rattler. Yeah, so we're never mad about families that put family first, because at the end of the day, that's what matters. Yeah. And so thank you all for rolling with us as we make adjustments in our schedules each and every week to bring you this, to us, very important show to talk about things for us and about us and in a real and authentic manner. Yeah. And then finally, I just have to say, you all are so amazing women. You all are just buying up the early bird tickets to the 5th annual Woman Thou Art Great Women Sharpening Women Conference. As you very well know, that is my conference. I started 5 years ago, and so on March 28th, 2020, it will be a significant milestone, and today is the last day to get your extended early bird ticket price of $99. And let me just tell you a little bit about it. We, again, just like we have our show formatted, we talk about all things pertaining to women, because people try to put women in a box, and we are more than a box. We are some dynamic individuals, and so we really talk about everything that impacts us. And for $99, just in case you may be asking yourself, that's a cheap investment to make for yourself. And one of the things, if you know anything about me, people that know me, who know me, people that see me, I'm not cheap with myself, and I won't be cheap with you. So trust and believe that how I show up in the world is how I treat you when you come to my conference. So trust and believe that you're going to get more than a $99 deal, because we want to make sure that you walk away and you have an experience that's going to be life-altering for you and anyone that you bring. So we thank everyone who has supported us from day one, because it's just been phenomenal. Yeah. And so I bless God for that. And so make sure you get your tickets today for the extended early bird ticket price. And men, you can participate. Buy the women in your lives a ticket. If you think that they just need a little bit of rejuvenation, they need a different circle, they need to be able to network and expand who they are and reach the goals that they were designed to reach. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to talk about some entrepreneurship and talk about some women that are on the move that's doing the doggone thing. And so I am so excited to have our guests. But before we do that, we're going to have Walita to read the scripture, because the scripture that she's going to read really pertains to what we're going to be talking about today.
Yes. And I've actually found two scriptures. The first one is Proverbs 24:7. And this version says, prepare your work outside. Get everything ready for you in the field. And after that, build your house. And so what that's basically talking about is getting ready to start your business, meaning doing the research in the field.
Yes.
And how essential market research is to ensure you know as much as about your customers and about your business. And the second scripture is Proverbs 11:16b. The timid become destitute, but the aggressive gain riches. You can't be shy in business. You've got to get out there.
Yes,
You've got to make it happen. And that means keeping an eye out for opportunities and customers.
Exactly.
And so these dynamic ladies are going to share with us about the topic of entrepreneurship.
And we know that in this day and time, in this economy, this particular conversation is so very important. And so without further ado, we're going to introduce you to Dr. Sharon Hargo Porter, who is my soror, Delta Sigma Theta in the house. Yes. And then we also have her business partner, Miss Karen McConnell Jones. So let's welcome them. Yay! And so I was excited that you all agreed to come on the show. We want to have some real talk, because anytime you talk about business and business relationships, there has to be a plan, right? Yes. And so tell us a little bit about who you are as individuals and how you all came together to be business partners. Then we'll talk about, what businesses you all have to make people aware. So Sharon, you want to start?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be here.
She's a radio show host.
So excited to be with you, Dr. Sharon. Absolutely. I am Dr. Sharon H. Porter. I'm an educator first. I always start out with that because that's my passion. An educator, close to 30 years. Classroom teacher, assistant principal, central office representative, and have just recently returned back to the schoolhouse. Yes. As an elementary principal in a local school district here in the D.C. area.
That's right.
But besides that, I am an author, a best-selling author. I'm a publisher. I'm an entrepreneur. I am the CEO and owner of Perfect Time SHP, which is a coaching, consulting, and book publishing firm.
That's right.
And I'm an interview show host.
That's right. We're going to talk about how she manages it all, right?
We love this thing. Yes. And just recently here, I became co-owner of Vision and Purpose Lifestyle Magazine with my co-owner here and founder. So we are excited about that. Yes.
And tell our audience where you're from, because that matters.
Absolutely. And you know what? They probably can hear it already. And I always say that, but I am a proud North Carolinian. I hail from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, but I've been in the DMV now for over 20 years. But certainly North Carolina is still home. And I'm a proud graduate of Howard University.
Yes, right across the street. That's right. Yes.
Exactly.
Well, welcome, Sora Sharon.
Thank you.
All right, it's my turn.
That's right.
I love it. First of all, I am blessed to be in this moment with my beautiful ladies here on the panel. I am just so excited. Thanks for having me.
Yes.
My name is Karen McConnell Jones, and I am the president and CEO of Class Act Productions. My first love is the beauty industry. Of course, image consultant. So I help brand my personal individuals or companies. I help them market and brand themselves through business development. And also, I've been in media now for 9 years.
Okay.
And I love it. Yes. I just love it. Just being hands-on and be able to give our community a voice is just a wonderful thing, you know, especially if we look at mainstream media, you know, they don't highlight the African American community in this best. And so to have shows and talk shows and platforms like this where our community can be heard and our voice can be heard in a positive light, we just look at you. You're celebrating 5 years.
That's right.
You know, I have also a Speakers Bureau as well,
Right.
Class at Speakers Bureau, and that's what we want to do. We want to talk about being in your purpose. What do that look like? Vision and purpose. So I just love, and now just being partnered with my girl, Sharon.
Yes.
You know, and what a perfect name for the magazine, Vision and
Purpose, right.
You know, because in life, that's what you are. You got to have vision, and visions bring on purpose. So when you are in your purpose, being an entrepreneur is just gravy at that point, because when you're doing your purpose, you don't mind putting in the work, you don't mind putting in the grind. You know, you got to you got to do the work though. You have to really do the work. So we here to do the work, ladies.
Right.
We are.
Yes. And let me just say something. People often say that, you know, you pigeonhole yourself or you put yourself in a box when you focus on a certain community. And I say I'm good with that. Right. Because I want to make sure, and of course you want to eventually expand, but I'm very good because it's about the purpose and the vision, and I want to make sure that our people are getting something different than all the noise that's out there. And I think you have to be focused on that. And I just don't apologize for it. It's not that I dislike someone else, but this is my community. I'm African American. I'm a woman of color. And so I'm good with, you know, talking about the things that impact me, because I can imagine that our experiences are similar in some sort. Right? And that's why I wrote the book, Only in Chicago, with a question mark, a Southside State of Mind, because it's about those things that I write about. It's a Southside State of Mind germane to Chicago. However, you can go to any of our communities and find some of the same things. And so I want to focus on us, and I just don't apologize for that. So that here we are.
Yes,
and
I
so
love
here we are. And so tell me how you all met. How did you all become business partners? Where you know each other from?
I'll let you do that, Karen.
Yes.
Look, she always give me the fun part, right? Yes. So believe it or not, Sharon and I just always heard about Sharon, Dr. Sharon Porter.
That's right.
Yes,
she's a bad sister, bad to the bone.
Yes, and like she said, in her first love in the education world.
Right.
So I just heard about the strong leadership program that she have.
That's right.
Actually, one of my clients was in her program, and she talked so highly of her. And then started the Vision Conference. I was started out in my home when we was having a Vision Conference, the Speakers Bureau. And one year Sharon came, and she was invited by my cousin that was in North Carolina. And when I met her, I said, "Oh, Dr. Sharon Porter, I know you.
That's right.
I heard so much about you." And then in that moment, we realized that we was cousins, because my cousin who was the speaker is her first cousin on her dad's side.
Wow.
And so,
Can I stop you right there?
Yes.
When I do leadership development, I want everybody to listen to this very closely. I always start with there's something in a name. There's something in a name, and Karen, you just talked about that.
Yes.
When you heard about her and she was there, you're like, "Oh, I know, I heard about you." So your name precedes you.
Yes.
So we have to do everything in our power to protect our name, because it goes before you, and you don't know who's sitting in boardrooms. You don't know where people are sitting, and they say your name, and it could go this way or that way, and we get to make some of that happen.
Yes. And if I could speak on that just for a second,
Yes.
so names are very important, and you have to protect your reputation at all times. And then even I'm gonna say on the entrepreneurship side, when you're picking a name for your business.
Yes.
Okay. I know we like these names, but I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna be the first to say it. Keep it real out here, my friends.
Yes.
Your name makes a statement. That is the first evidence of branding yourself.
That's right.
So you got to be careful on the name that you pick. Like Class Act Production, I cannot be out here calling my
Class
company
Act.
Class Act, and I'm not doing the work.
right,
You know,
right.
you can't
Yeah.
be perfect time and you not on time. You know, so it's your name is everything.
Right.
Vision and purpose.
Right.
So when you hear that name, vision and purpose, you already have in your mind
Right.
the idea of what this should represent.
Exactly.
And so if you're not living up to that, I'm all about being fair to my community. I'm going to give the community the best.
That's right.
Because we deserve
Right. When
the
you show
best.
up.
Absolutely.
Yes,
When you
you
show
got
up.
to show up. You got to show up.
And we have to do that for each other. When
Yes.
we show up, we have to show up in excellence.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
you know,
And
and
excellence.
in your
That's my
pursuit
word.
of perfection,
Yes.
you should find excellence because you're not going to
Yes.
find perfection,
Right.
right?
Yes.
But
The
you
pursuit
show
of
up
excellence.
and it's intentional, and you cannot be apologetic about showing up in excellence.
Yes.
Because it really matters in terms of how people see you.
Yes.
And people are like, well, you know, that's cocky. I'm like, come over here, let me have a conversation with you.
No, it's
Let me
not.
talk to you about a
No,
little
it's
thing,
not.
something
It's
called
real.
confidence.
Yes. It's called keeping it real.
Exactly.
Talk about
And we hear so much about, you know, when people do business with, you know, our people. I'm like, stop it.
Yes.
What we have to do is be better with each other.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Right? And
yes.
we have to set out. And we know that, and we're going to talk about this. We know that when people start businesses, you know, people are trying to make money.
Right.
That's
Yes,
just, I mean,
yes,
that's
yes,
it.
yes.
But money can't be the first thing. It has to be your vision and your
Yes,
purpose
purpose,
that's
that's right.
leading you down that road
money
to
comes.
provide the service, and then the money will come. And I'm gonna let you talk in a minute, Sharon. But in all due transparency, my conference, this will probably be the first year that I've made money off of my conference.
Right.
And I didn't even have to go up on a ticket sale. It's because I humbled myself.
Yes.
God gave me a vision, and it was a part of my purpose. And so
Yes.
I went out there and I did it.
I love it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And that's really, and people don't understand that. People are like, I'm like, yeah.
But that's
Yes.
real though, and
Yes.
that's what we need to understand. You know, being in your purpose and
Yes.
and having vision. Sometimes you got to be able to put in the work because you know we
Yes.
want to be an entrepreneur and see that money,
gratification.
that instant gratification.
Right.
And it's just not like that. It's about how much you believe in your purpose and
Exactly.
the reason why you're doing this, and then being fruitful in that is just staying in God's purpose for you.
Right.
And like you say, I always say, put in your excellence because your excellence
That's it.
is where your greatness is.
Exactly.
And when God
Come
give
on
you
now.
your
Come on
greatness,
now.
then that's when the fruit will come.
It will come.
Yeah, the
That's
fruit
right.
of your labor will come.
Yes. And Sharon, what did you want to share about any of that? Anything?
No, absolutely, and it's hard work, but we're not afraid of hard
No.
work.
No.
That's the one thing we expect that,
Right.
because if it was easy, everybody would be doing
That's
it.
right.
So that's the one thing that
Yes.
we know, and it's so awesome because Karen and I work so well together. She's the night owl, and I'm the early bird.
Right.
So when she's going to bed at 1 and 2 o'clock,
Yeah.
I'm waking up at 3 o'clock.
That's right. And that's a great
So,
compliment.
it is.
Yes,
Yeah.
it
So,
really
so
is.
it's a 24-hour
It
cycle.
is.
Hey.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And-
So it's about
yes.
that, putting that work in.
Yeah. And so what was it about each other that you all said we want to go into business? Because I've done some research and I've just seen some horror stories. So how do you all complement each other other than what you
Right.
just said, and why the two of you?
I think the passions that we share, the media, the politics, the
Yes.
just so much, the community outreach.
Yes,
Those
yes.
are like we were just drawn to each other because we go after the same thing. And even with this magazine, it was just unbelievable. March last year,
Yes.
Karen, we riding down the road somewhere to an event that we were speaking at,
Yes.
and she said, "You know what, Sharon? I want to do a magazine." I was like,
Wow.
"I do too."
Yes,
And,
yes.
since March 2018, we have
Yes.
been on a mission
Yes, we have.
to
Yes.
get this done.
Yes.
And March 2020, it will be done.
Yes,
Awesome.
yes, and that's
Awesome.
Women History Month. So
Yes.
what
Yes.
a better way to launch
Yes.
is next year March and
Yes.
Women History Month.
Yes.
And just going back to the partnership part of it all. And yes, and Sharon is right. We have differences in she's the early bird, I'm the late hour. she's behind the scenes.
Yes.
I'm the one out front,
Yep.
the social butterfly, but what is similar, and this is key, people, when you want to go in partnership with each other, you have to have them similar keys. And the similar keys for me is the work ethics.
Ethics. Yes. Yes.
As much as we are
Yes.
different in night and day, who stay up late, who go to bed early,
Right.
but our work ethics
Yes.
are the same. I was like, I didn't never know it was somebody out there that is as serious as me about the work until I met Dr. Sharon Porter. I was like, you know what? And then we finish each other thoughts, and we on the same. I was like, our work ethics what makes this work.
Right.
We really have strong work ethics. We no tolerance on deadlines, no
Right.
tolerance on being late.
Yes.
It's certain things you just gotta
do.
Them are the key things
Yes.
that make up a great
Yes.
partnership, because one is lazy and one is putting in the work.
not
After a
gonna
while,
work.
it's
It's
going
not
to be
gonna
on
work.
burnout.
That's right.
Yes.
Let me
So
tell you,
it's
one of the
work
things,
ethics.
but one of the things I truly believe, I believe that all of us have some type of business in us, but I think all of us should incorporate our own business name. I just do, and that should be your name. Incorporate your name as a business. My business is the Dr. Sharon D. Cradle Corporation, and then my nonprofit is the You Are Great Empowerment Foundation. But I incorporated my name first. And when you go into business, and let's talk about this, you have got to make sure your paperwork is in order. So talk about that. And so for me, I don't have a business partner, so I didn't have to do a contract with someone else or really sit down and have those deep-rooted conversations. And so how did you all start that process?
Well, I think first of all, because we both had our own
Right.
businesses prior to coming
Okay.
together,
Yeah.
we both understood the importance of that.
Yeah.
And Karen specifically had already been in a partnership
Okay.
before,
Oh,
so
okay.
she knew the ins and outs, of working together. This is my first coming together officially with a partner.
Right.
So it's important. Because integrity is
Yes.
utmost.
Key.
It is the utmost.
And egos, how you manage
absolutely.
egos.
You are saying a
And
word.
some pride.
And
Say
that's
that
it.
again.
Exactly. And the one
Yes.
thing is that from the beginning, we have been able to be free and speak
Yes.
what we want to say. And I
Okay,
think
good.
that's so important.
And in a safe-
because we can't tiptoe around each other to be a partner.
Yes,
Right.
exactly. Sharon hit it on the head. I just like our openness to be honest and authentic
Yes.
with each other.
Yes.
And that's the key to great partnership. You got to be honest and authentic with each other. And then, like you said, you got to put the egos to the side. It's not about the egos, because this is, like she said, this is not my first partnership, and I've been there.
Right.
Been there, done that. But
And learn.
Yes, and learn. Because I was
Right.
going to say, but is that going to stop me from having partnership?
No.
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 You learn. I got experiences from everything that I needed to get experiences
Exactly.
from prior to, and I just know this is going to be the best because the two NCs.
Yes.
So that's just what look, Sharon, the two NCs. So if you want to know what the two NCs is, you just better listen and stay tuned. And if you can guess what it is before the show is over, we got something special for you to run in the magazine. So we're gonna talk about what's that? Andy, he always say, if you hear the word, how many times?
Yes,
So the
yes,
two NCs. Okay, so if you guess what the
yes,
two NCs
yes.
is, we got something for you in our
Yes,
magazine.
Yes, exactly. And what I know for sure in terms of when I mentor people, and I say the only people that don't fail are the people that aren't trying.
That's right.
I
The only
love
people that
Say
don't fail are the
again.
people that aren't doing anything.
That's
Because I don't
right.
believe in trying. I'm like, do it.
Do it. Right.
Do it, and
Yes.
then learn from it.
Yes, try
right,
is
and
not
you
in
learn
my
from it, and it's just like with
vocabulary.
relationships. You have one bad relationship, and then you project that on the rest of the world.
Right.
What did you learn from it? What did you learn about yourself?
Yeah.
And so, having a partner before, you learn some things about yourself, about this whole business of partnering with other people, and so you made some adjustments, and you were able to share that with Sharon because Sharon hasn't really had that experience, and so you're only talking from your perspective.
Yes.
But it's important to have that upfront conversation.
Yes, it is.
Okay, wonderful. So tell us about your business, your magazine. Why a magazine? Because we
Oh, my
know.
God.
So is it
Go ahead,
print?
Sharon.
Is it
It
digital?
is print and digital.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all right,
Yes.
all right.
we like a challenge. We love a challenge. In this world of digital, everybody is like, oh, print is not where it is anymore. Yes, 84% of the people still love to have that printed thing.
Yes, it's something about feeling and touching it.
Yes, it's just something about that visual feeling of having that printed paper in hand. And we're going to bring it to you to the finest.
Right.
Look, Sharon, she's like, Karen, we got to go this way. We got to go that way. And it's so amazing how we are so similar. So it's going to be a unique magazine, the first of its kind ever in lifestyle magazines. And I'm just too excited. What you say, Sharon?
I really am. And so to even kick it off, we started our Vision and Purpose book collaboration.
Yes.
That really is an introduction to our team because we have 22 team members.
Oh wow!
Already,
yes. We have been hustling and grinding. I tell you, we have. And so 22 team members who are contributing to this. We have writers, we have designers, all of these individuals, and in this book, they introduce themselves.
Okay.
They tell what their offering will be to the magazine and really how they got connected. So the stories are truly amazing. It starts off with that interest meeting that we did at Karen's house and how we pulled everyone together. Everybody had to sign a disclaimer.
That's right. Yes, right.
We were serious.
Yes.
We were serious.
We were serious.
You have to be.
Absolutely. And we introduced it, and then the outpouring of support that came after that, and we've been rolling ever since.
But why a magazine? And the reason I want to go a little deeper, because we know that there are lots of magazines that have been around. Some of them are now no longer in print. And what is it? What do you see in the market that you all said in your background experiences, and that you all have said we can do this?
Okay. Sure, can I? Okay. So if you want a little more meat and potatoes, I hear what you saying.
That's how I roll.
You just want a little more meat and potatoes.
Right.
So let us give you a little more meat and potato. Because Sharon and I, we said we have a passion for media. We do live stream as well, and we do interviews. And so our thing is, why not now? We doing it in reverse. Most people come print first, and then they go into TV and other avenues of the media. So we say we already in live stream TV. We already doing the TV.
Right.
So now everything that we doing, why not put it in a printed version for our community can even just expand on that even more. So we all things community. We are what, Sharon? Inspiring our community.
That's right.
So we want to inspire our community through all
trying to leave a
things
legacy.
media. Yes. It's all things media. So it was so important that all the things they see us doing in our community, that now we put it in that print form and that digital form for our community can have, so they can see us. It's no way that we cannot stay connected. Because one thing we all know this, when we go and see these great speakers or whatever, you come home, you hype for 2 weeks, and then the next thing you know, you can't even get in touch with them.
That's right.
So with us, you're going to be able to see us, whether it's live stream, you can pick up our magazine, you can go online, read the digital version, or you can just come to our speaking engagements. So we're going to make sure that we stay in touch with our community in all avenues,
Absolutely.
So who's your target audience? Because what I know for sure in my research is that most people in America don't watch television. Most of them are not streaming. They're not listening to the radio. So who's your target audience, and how do you even reach those folks? Let's just talk a little bit about politics, because we understand that was a major issue in the last election. And it's still continuing to be the same issue, where we who look at television, listen to radio, read, and are on social media, most of the United States of American citizens are not. So who's the target, and how do you reach the people who aren't necessarily accessing these forms of media?
And one of the things on our team members, out of the 22, we have a variety of levels, ages.
Yes.
We have different backgrounds of individuals with different passions and expertise.
Right.
And that was intentional.
Yes.
We have our millennials on there. We have our 50+ year olds, and that's really our audience. We have 12 columns that we're going to talk about. We have the political piece column that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk politics.
Yes,
it's very important
Yes, it is.
that we get our community out to vote,
Involved.
because
Yes.
we know that that's a deficit in our community, is we don't go out to vote unless it's a huge vote. But we need to do it locally
Local.
Yes.
to start locally.
Yep.
Yes.
So
yes.
that's one. And then, of course, we're going to tap into our business owners and our
Yes.
entrepreneurs.
Okay.
That's a huge audience that we are doing as well. Also, of course, our educators. You know, we can't
Yes,
leave
we can't
out
forget our
educators.
educators.
Yes.
Bless their hearts.
Right, exactly. And most of all, and,
Yes.
and I know Karen was loving it when you started out with the scripture.
Yes.
Because we starting out with our
Faith-based.
inspirational moments. And
That's
that
right.
was one of the things that
Yes.
we've got to have it.
Yes.
So we have these wonderful spirit-led individuals that are going to lead this column for our inspirational moments. So we plan to tap into all of those markets.
Okay.
All of them.
Are you all going to have an app?
We
Yeah,
are.
we
Okay.
created
All right.
that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and we our technical department now. We young millennial
Yes.
was saying, look, Dr. Sharon and Miss Karen, y'all gotta be an app if you want to
That's
be
right.
in this thing.
Exactly.
You gotta
That's
have
right.
an app. So that from our very first
Yeah,
meeting, believe
you're
it or
right.
not, our young professional was saying you gotta do
Gotta have
an
an app.
app.
That's
right.
You gotta have an app. And just to go a little further, how we're gonna reach them, we're gonna do it the old-fashioned way. We're gonna grassroot this thing.
Yes.
You know,
Right, that's right.
grassroot this thing, and that's just how it is. We're going straight into our community and let them know we are here for you, and that's the best way to do it. Like you said, it's not about getting the money right then and there. You know, if we out here for a year, 2 years, 3 years, we're gonna grassroot this thing, and we're gonna let people know vision and purpose is here to stay. So you know, and it's all about being a part of the community. And I just love the politic piece that we're gonna
Right.
have about that, because you spoke on that.
Oh, yes.
We have to let our community be informed. But you know what? But we got to stop beating them up and hitting them over the head
Yes.
Right.
about
Oh,
the
yeah.
politics, because that's what's making them stay closed in their house. You know, because you should get out there and vote. You know, our ancestors. That's not getting it anymore, people.
That's
You know,
right.
that's not. What are you doing? So you know, my mom always said you can either complain about it or be part of the solution.
That's right, be part of that solution.
Yeah. So the part of the solution is to stop beating them over the head about that.
Right.
They already know what our ancestors did right now. So feed them the information. You like having in there. Do you know what district that you live in? And if
Right.
you in in Maryland, if you're in Washington D.C., if you're in Virginia, or even if you're in North Carolina, something about the 2 NCs. That's the hint. So even if you're in North Carolina, we want to be able
Yes.
to give you informative information about your voting process, how to register, what district you in, who are starting with your local politicians first,
that's
getting
right.
to know who they are, because it's important that once you start on a local level, then that's when you get to the bigger offices. And so we're not going to make them feel ashamed about not knowing. We're just going to educate and inform.
Right, and because we don't know it all.
No, we
right.
don't.
And things
Right.
change so rapidly,
Yes.
and making them feel part of the process.
Yes.
Right,
Exactly.
we're not just coming to you to sell you a magazine.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
we're coming to inform you and give you something that you need, right?
Yes.
And get something from you. What is it that you would like to talk about? What would you like to see featured? Because there's so many things happening in communities across this country
Yes.
that
Absolutely.
we are just not aware of.
Yes.
Right?
So
And
true.
everybody's story is not the same.
Yes.
And I tell my students, I teach graduate level students, HR, I tell them all the time, we're in a very unique place in the DMV.
That's right.
Because once you start leaving this area, this small area, the opportunities become less. People are more spread out. People, what their needs are, differ. Their thinking differs.
Yeah.
I think about being out in the Midwest. It's just you going to LA versus being here. It's just a different world. And so we have to be able to shift.
Yes. Yes.
You got to be able to shift and not just put your ideas on someone.
Yes.
Because your ideas may work here, but not necessarily somewhere else.
And that's true. That's
Exactly.
true.
And so one of the things, Sharon, that I absolutely love and I know about you, and I've, patronized you for the last couple years with your books, because
Yes.
I just think that giving other people an opportunity to participate
Absolutely.
in being an author
Yes.
without them having to write the entire book.
Absolutely.
I just think is amazing.
Yes, absolutely.
And so I love Sharon's book,
Yes.
North Carolina Girls in the Maryland world, living in the Maryland world. I love the fact that you're targeting educators because I don't think that people truly understand the life of an educator,
Absolutely.
particularly at that leadership level.
Yes.
And so talk to us about your books and why you decided to bring others in to support the effort.
Absolutely. I started out in collaboration projects. I was actually invited to be a part of a collaboration project. So this is how I started my whole authorship, if you will. And once I did that, oh boy.
And what was your first project?
So my first project was the MLM book, Multi-Level Marketing.
Okay,
multi-level. And so we were
Okay.
sharing about why we chose to do network marketing.
Okay.
And so it was really liberating. And it's something that I never thought I wanted to do. That was the surprising part. And so once I did, and I got that book in the mail, it did something to me.
Yes,
It
does.
something to me. And even
Yes.
back then, this has been several years ago, even back then my time was limited. And so the collaboration piece, writing a chapter, was perfect for me. And so I thought to myself, this is what I can do to allow others, because time is always a barrier when
It
you're
is a
talking about
barrier.
writing a book.
It is a barrier.
But you can knock out a chapter.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And so that's from the beginning is what I've started. Now here lately, that's all you see.
Right.
But I started out only with that, simply because of the time factor and everything else that goes on with it. You write your chapter, you send it to me, I will get it done.
Right.
And so that's how it's been. North Carolina Girls in the Maryland World was just a special,
love that.
special book
Yes,
for
it
me
was.
because I truly love North Carolina.
Yes.
And it all happened. I was at an event. And we were meeting all of these. I'm from North Carolina. I said, oh my God. She's
from North Carolina.
Right, exactly. And I said, we're all living in Maryland. And it just hit me. North Carolina girls living in the Maryland world, because it was a difference coming up here.
Right. Oh,
And
yes.
so I said, we need to talk about it.
Yes.
Everyone has a story.
Everybody has
And
a
so
story.
that's just how some of my books are fun books like that.
Yes.
And then some of them lean towards education.
Yes.
My HBCU book,
Yes.
that one actually is for donation to the HBCU.
Right.
We gave North Carolina A&T close to $5,000 before even a book was sold.
Yes.
All of the Amazon proceeds will go to the National Alumni Association of that university. And so I do that. And the same thing that I did with Vision and Purpose. All of these proceeds from Amazon will go to the book to help launch. So I believe in that.
So have you always been a doer?
I have. I've always been a doer.
You've always been a doer.
Always been a doer.
And the reason I say that is because people have a lot of great ideas, they think, and people offer for them to participate, but people have these preconceived notions, they have this fear, they have this block, I don't have the money, I don't have the time.
Yes.
Where did that come from, being a doer? What's your family background?
You know, I just believe, first of all, in getting it done. My mom, number one, she did not let anything deter her. You know what I'm saying? And I got that. And my father, even so, was just determined to get things done no matter what. And that's where I learned that from. I just don't allow other people's neglect
Say
and
it
shortcomings
again.
to stop me from what I'm doing. And it's the same thing with the books, because number one, if those of you who are a part of book collaborations, you know people are charging thousands of dollars to be in it. I don't do that.
No.
I refuse to do that.
Right.
And there are some people who won't come with me because of that, because they feel if it's not thousands of dollars, it's not up to quality.
Right.
That's their short.
That's
you know,
right.
So those are not my people. You
Yeah.
pay your thousands of dollars,
Yes.
Right.
and I will continue to build authors and do the work that I've been assigned to do. And I don't mind that at all.
And you see that as your assignment.
I do.
And I think that's important,
I
that
do.
you see
That's
that
the
as your
difference.
assignment.
Absolutely.
And when you write a book, like when I woke up and I started writing a book, it was about purpose. Yes, Walida, it was
Absolutely.
purpose. Who knew? That was nothing I ever saw myself doing, but I'm a doer.
Yes.
Right? I'm a doer. I have faith. I'm courageous.
Yes.
And I don't mind slipping a little bit because I know I'm not perfect. I just get back up. You know?
And that's it.
Exactly.
And that's it. You do it. You
Exactly.
learn from the mistakes, and you do better.
Exactly.
And that's what I do. Because when I started, I didn't know everything. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
you don't.
But I learned on my, on
Yes.
the way. I learned
Yes.
on the way.
And some people, that's one thing that stops a lot of people. And you all, Karen, you can share this. That stops a lot of people from starting because they feel like they have to have have it all together. They have to have it
all
all figured out.
Yes.
And can you talk to us about your experience and tell us about your background, though? Have you always been an entrepreneur?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
really? Okay.
I was an entrepreneur ever since I was 5 years old. I'm going to just say it. I just remember, and I can remember this, telling my mom at 5 years old, I said, Mom, I'm going to own my own business one day, and I'm going to take care of you. And I did just that. You know, I started as a young girl. I'm telling you, I was the one out there shoving the snow for $2 or whatever. And I'm up here complaining, where are these kids?
I know.
You know, but it's just, and believe it or not, you may laugh at that, but that is the beginning of a young entrepreneur mind. And you know, and I remember, and I'm 53. I don't mind putting it out there. So back then, when I was like 16 years old, wanting to start my own nonprofit organization, people looking at that's never heard of. And now kids is 10 years old and got their nonprofit.
That's right. They sure do.
So back in this, 60s, late 60s, early 70s, you wasn't able to do that, but now you are. So that has always been my mentality. My mom just always say, you got to dream and put in the work, push beyond limitation. And and that was one of the things we talked about this year, is pushing beyond the limitation. I like what you said, because sometimes we think, before we go in business, we got to have it all figured out, all laid out. And then you will never go in business. I am here to tell you, you would never go in business. You waiting on everything to line up. But what you got to be able to do is have the faith, the determination, be able to put in the work, research, and then what you don't know, you go get that person that know. Exactly. Okay, and to feed into that and help you out, and that's what you do. And the biggest other thing is, let's talk about that fear factor. Fear. We give fear too much power over us.
Too much power.
And that's a lot of people are sitting on great opportunities.
They are.
And
it's a lot of greatness engraved.
But it's that fear factor that's holding them back. And you know what? And for me, every time, am I fearful about this new adventure I'm going on? Yes. Okay, but is I'm going to let that stop me? No. Because every time I go on an adventure and I push past that fear, push beyond them limitation, guess what it do? It just builds you up. Builds you up.
Because you're getting something from it. Exactly.
And I'm tapping into the greatness that God wants me to have.
Exactly.
So why I'm going to let that fear factor hold me back? I'm going to push beyond that, because I know God's purpose for me is bigger than fear.
That's right.
And I would tell you, all these young entrepreneurs' minds out here that's in your developing stage could continue. Dream big. I like your word you said, and that's just me. I'm courageous. I'm unorthodox. I don't do nothing that's planned. You know, people be saying, Karen, you should do it this way. Me and Sharon had a meeting with one young lady. She was like, why y'all going to do print? Do you know print? And I just... Because in my mind, I'm just saying, watch out, baby. Because here we come. And we're not going to do it, the right. Everybody said, go digital, just go digital, just go digital. And, we have to try it for ourselves. We got to push beyond that. So, and then try for ourselves. And then, we can always walk it back. My mom said, you can learn from that and then always regroup and do something else. But right now, this is what God is telling us to do. So push beyond the limitation and push beyond the fear. That is the key for me.
So let me say this to you, and those of you who are on our social media feeds and who are watching us on listenvisionlive.com, we would love for you to call in if you have a question or a comment. But I want to say this.
Your two NCs are ready for you.
That's right. When I first started, I had some people to say, you just need to understand that your passion is not going to be my passion.
Oh, yes.
And I thought about that thing, and I said, well, I have a problem with that. It doesn't have to be your passion, but if we don't learn to support each other, it doesn't mean I don't care if you don't buy a book. Tell somebody. Because we don't have a problem going to buy these name brand products. These people aren't doing a thing for us. But when it comes to us and our community, for you to even say that out of your mouth is just telling me where your mindset is. So get out the way and let me do what I'm going to do, because I know that once I started, that God was going to send the people who needed to whatever I had, right? And so what advice do you all give people who are starting their their own business around people that start saying those kind of things to them.
Yes. Yeah, the dream busters is what we call
Dream
them.
busters.
Yes,
Yes,
them
exactly.
Dream busters gonna be out there, but you gotta push beyond that, and then for me, it's just like creating these opportunities for myself. Going out finding different like-minded people like myself.
Right.
But as Sharon say, not only like-minded people, but you don't want to just a yasm person too. You want to be around them like-minded people that's gonna push you and challenge you to make it to the next level. So that's what you really have to do, because them dream busters will bring you down, and they will still be sitting in that same place when you go out there and get yours. Okay, and I tell you, and Willie Jolly is one of he's one of my mentors.
Amazing.
Yes, and that's what he always say. He said, you know what? If you keep hanging around them dream busters, you're gonna become your own worst dream buster. And he was like, and you look in a group of people. If you the smartest one in that group of friends that you hanging out with, then you need to make new friends.
Right.
And in the sense
say that again. I need you to say that loud. Say that in the speaker very loud. Say that one more time.
So if you are the smartest one in
your circle,
then you need to go out and make new friends and make a new circle. Absolutely. And what they mean about that is not we not putting anybody down, but you can feed off each other, because when someone else is as courageous as you are and out here doing the things, it just give you that
energy, that confidence that you need.
And then you find accountability partners.
Right.
They're your accountability partner. They're your support. Your support team.
Yes.
And it's very much necessary to have that, and we don't do that enough among in ourselves and in our community. I would say that. So when you have it, you just search for it. Call the 2 MCs. We'll be here for you. See, I'm gonna throw it in there. Call the 2 MCs. We are here, and that's what you do. And one of the team members, she took my advice. Because I was like, you know what, you got to create your own opportunity. You got to go up and ask for it. So she came and she came up to me and she said, well, Karen, would you mentor me and let me be a part of your team? I said, you know what?
Absolutely. And
that's what I'm talking about.
I believe in this thing about exposure.
Yes.
And sometimes you have to go knock on the door. And I teach this in leadership. You go knock on a door and let someone know what you're interested in doing, and ask them, how can they help you? Because if you're just sitting behind your desk and you have all these thoughts for yourself and you're not sharing it with someone about, this is what I'm thinking, this is where I would like to go, how are you going to help me? Then people show you who they are, and if people can't help you, go find someone else.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I was also going to say, with the Dream Killers, Dream Busters, you also have to know who to share with.
Yes.
Right. Oh,
yes.
One of the things that I've had to learn. You can't share everything with everybody.
No.
You cannot do that.
But how do you know?
Well, you know what? You just
It's
have
a
to
learn.
I'm telling you, it's something that you learn. Like I think you said
Discernment.
it. You learn discernment. People show you who they are.
Yes, they
so
do.
after they reveal time after time, you should know, okay, that's not someone I can be really intimate with my dreams and aspirations.
Yes.
Because they will try to kill it.
Right.
And I'm a witness to that.
And I want Walida to talk about it, because Walida has been in business for a very long time with her event planning and all that. So what would you like to share, Walida?
I just wanted to ask a question about in the field of entrepreneurship today. There are so many businesses out there. So many different
great question.
magazines, and so many authors, and so many event planners, and so many, just
everything.
And so how do you get past that? What
distinguish
was the
yourselves
in that area that you were able to overcome? Because was that even an issue for you?
One of the things that I have learned is that if you are you and you put yourself out, because everybody has their tribe. Right. I've just learned that. And so it's going to be multiple things. They always say McDonald's ain't the only one selling burgers. Okay. So somebody like McDonald's burgers, somebody
That's exactly
like
right. French fries.
Right. Exactly. So everybody has their tribe.
Yes.
And there's enough out there for everybody.
Yes.
So you've got to get past that.
You do.
And your people will come to you.
They will.
Yes. And you just deal with that.
Exactly.
Yes.
And you have to know what you can handle.
Yes.
Right.
You do have to know what you can handle, but just because there are a million authors doesn't mean that you're not going to be a best-selling author.
That's right. That's right.
If you're telling a story or you're providing a service that people want, people will find you, and they will patronize you and support you, and you have to know that. And sometimes it's slow, sometimes it picks up, and but it's always right on time. Right, it's always right on time. And so, are you an author, Karen?
I'm co-author, yes.
Okay, and you're co-author on this book.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm a co-author in both.
Yes.
And see, I did it in reverse. Most people do theirs first, and then come collaborations. I have done several collaborations and working on mine for myself. Now, you know, I just got to take that plunge one time and just get it for me. And you know, and it's one thing that God just had me in this place that I've been writing this book now for 2.5, 3 years.
That's right.
And you know what? And I'm comfortable with that.
That's right.
You know, and I'm not, you know, at first I was like, oh man, everybody be flipping these books in 2 or 3 months. Why I can't get it out there? But now, you know what? I just know that God had me in this place that He must need me to be still, be patient, and keep developing this thing.
And can I say why the title of this book is so very important and just resonates with me is Vision and Purpose, because I remember when I was having dreams about starting my own business. It was nothing that was a goal of mine. I knew then because I sleep well at night. And nothing kind of wakes me up. I'm just a good sleeper, and I've always been that way, and I cherish that. But when I started waking up, and I was like, shucks, I got to write this down before I forget. And what ended up happening, I was like, I don't know how to do that. I have no experience, because as an educator, as you very well know, Sharon, is that we get a degree for everything every step of the way. We have a degree or some type of certificate for. And so I didn't have a degree or certificate for any of this. But what ended up happening was, as soon as I put it out in the atmosphere, and I want to talk about the power of words.
Yes. Oh my God.
And your thoughts. When you put it out in the atmosphere, people kept coming up to me, Dr. Sharon, I didn't know that you had this business. So have you ever thought about doing business with the federal government? I was like, no, what are you talking about? And so then people were like, this guy told me, he sent me a private message. He was like, you don't have to have a big publisher. You can self-publish. I was like, what are you talking about? And so what I'm saying to you, if it's part of your passion and your purpose and your vision, then it comes to you if you're sincere.
That's right.
You have to be sincere and authentic. And it can't be about anybody else or anything other than you following your path and staying in your lane. Because I think what happens is when people get outside their lane, that's when it gets chaotic.
That's when the crash occurs.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And you know what? And be willing to talk about, you know, we always the SWOTs in us. Be willing to talk about
strengths,
whatever,
weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
Whatever,
exactly.
Right. To be able to talk about that, you know, my not so strong point, because you know what? Guess what? That's my partner best.
Right.
You know, and believe it or not, I'm in all this media, but the technology part of doing that and the share. If you're I have to tell the story. So with Sharon and I, like I said, we met and found out that we was cousins at my vision conference. So now Sharon is telling me now 4 years later that she had went to Facebook me, and I never responded back because that's not me. You know, and so, you know, and I was like, oh my gosh, I hope you wasn't feeling some kind of way, because it's just not me. So, you know, but that is Sharon Strong. Man, she
Sharon
loves
social media, and you're good at it.
Yes, and she's good at it. And see, and I'm good at being out front. I'm hands-on, do the talk. I love to be hands-on, knock in your face, you know. So it works.
And so, as we very well know, we have 2 minutes. This conversation can just go on and on and on.
Did anybody guess what the 2 NCs is?
Yes, if you all can put it in the social media comments, then you're gonna get something from these ladies if you can guess what the 2 NCs. And I'm not gonna cheat because I know it.
Yes,
but
you
can't cheat. No,
you can't.
But before we close out, please tell people how they can get in contact with you if they want to patronize you or support, you know, whatever your efforts are.
And we are running a special inaugural edition ad packages. So we are definitely looking for anyone who wants to put an ad in our magazine. You can contact us at info@vmpmagazine.com. That's our email address. But we have some wonderful ad packages, all the way from logos to full page spreads. So,
and who are you promoting? Where are you promoting it so people can understand? You know, so where's the magazine going out?
Oh yeah, it's going to be fully distributed. We have several places. Yes. It's going to be fully distributed.
Okay.
And of course we'll have the digital version as well. But yeah, we plan to have a full distribution. And as we grow, we can distribute more because you know that takes funds. So that's why we're doing all that we can to set up that foundation.
And we would have to have you all to come back because my conference is in March, and I did it intentionally for Women's History Month. So we'll have to have you all to come back to promote your new venture. And then, of course, that'll be leading right up to my conference on March 28th.
Yes.
Karen,
How about that?
How can they reach you?
Yes, well, Sharon gave us all the information.
Okay.
So that sound spot to be reached at is info at Vision, and is spelled out. A-N-G is spelled out. A-N-D is spelled out because sometimes they probably think the ampersand. So exactly. Info at Vision and Purpose.
.com. So let me just tell you, this has been such a phenomenal conversation, and that's why we do what we do, to have conversations, to get to know the people that are around us, because I knew a little bit about Soror Sharon, but not a whole lot. And so it's a pleasure to meet you, and I don't think that this is coincidental that we've met. And so thank everyone for tuning in. I hope you have gotten something from this show that you can apply to your life as you pursue whatever goal it is that you have for yourself. And so next Sunday, we'll be back. And we look forward to you all tuning in on next Sunday. So have a blessed week and have a blessed afternoon. Thank you.
All right.
Welcome to Sisters in Company Talking About It live show. Hosted by me, Dr. Sharon Cradle and Sherelle Higgins. We will be discussing intriguing, intricate, inspirational, informative, and intelligent topics with our individual twists and talents.
We will present real stories, real solutions, and engage in real talk.
So we invite you to be our company every Sunday afternoon at 3:00 p.m. as we focus on transcendent thinking that will move you forward. You become the company you keep.
What company do you keep? Oh yeah, we are biological sisters by way of the south side of Chicago.
So get ready to keep company with us and our guests as we talk about it.